Game 7. We got Game 7. We knew we were getting Game 7. This series deserves Game 7. Game 6 was incredible. Again, thank God we are not Blue Jays or Dodgers fans, because this one would make me lose my mind, especially on the Blue Jay side. To lose the game in the way that they did would make me sick to my stomach. I would not be able to sleep. But luckily for us, our team has been out for a month. So we're just watching and we're enjoying it. Thank you guys so much for the amazing support on the last few episodes. We love giving you these recaps. Make sure you are subscribed to the Windup. We're approaching 5K. If you are not yet subscribed, click that button so we can get to 5,000 subscribers. James, this game, though, let's get talking about it, because, wow, it was unbelievable.
I felt like, too, especially from the Dodgers side, we'll talk about them first because they won. They didn't play that well.
Nope.
Dave Roberts didn't make that many, I'd say, very good decisions.
Nope.
And they've still found a way to just by the skin of their fucking teeth keep this thing alive. And we're also getting to a point now because we're going to hit the 7th game of the series. It's this one, it's 2016, 2014, 2011. I think in the modern era, like these are the special World Series.
And the Astros-Dodgers one. What was that?
Oh, yeah,
that
2018 too. And
2019
was 17. 2019 was also quite good, but it didn't have the same panache game to game. There were some blowouts in between where all 6 of these games, maybe not all 6 of them, because game 5, I think the Blue Jays won handedly. 5 of these 6 games easily could have flipped the other way. Easily.
Easily.
Few bounce of the ball, one ball going through the hole, nothing else. And it's just, from the Blue Jays' perspective, like you said, to leave that many guys on base, to strand that many players in scoring position, which kind of has been their trademark through this entire postseason run. For one night, the Magic not to be there, that has to hurt. Especially, and I texted you about this, the fans, the players, everyone seems so confident that big hit was coming. And credit to them for that. And as you have to think that way in this situation when you've been playing this well like they have been. But it was cool to see how much joy was in that fan base, basically until the Addison Barger ground rule double.
Yes. Until there, like, it's crazy, too, to think that, like, the Dodgers didn't play well. The Blue Jays, you could argue the Blue Jays played better almost than the Dodgers in this game, and yet they still don't get the win. It's also crazy to think about that Kevin Gausman made, 3 bad pitches? They were 3 hits and 3 runs scored. It's like, that's how quickly this game changed. That's how tight all these are. Let's say 2 bad pitches, 3 of them went into play, 3 of them dropped for hits in a row, and that's why the Blue Jays lose, because outside of that 3rd inning, Dodgers did not do a single thing. They had 4 total hits, 3 of them came in that 3rd inning.
And I'll tell you this, the Will Smith, that was not a bad pitch. That was not a bad pitch at all. That was a splitter at the knee.
Oh, in the dirt, basically. Yeah, he just hit a bad ball.
Gausman, that's the pitch that he intended to make. The Betts pitch, that was a bad pitch. And I still feel like you were kind of grateful as a Blue Jays fan that Mookie Betts had done nothing this series, especially when you juxtapose this World Series or this playoff run to last year when Mookie Betts was arguably the best player on the Dodgers during that run, at least offensive player. And now to get finally him to come through for one thing. And even still, it never felt like 3 runs was going to win this game. Like you kind of had, if you were a Dodgers fan, you guys probably had a pit in your stomach the whole way through. Like, we need to scratch off one more. And they didn't even get close to scratching off one more. Like their lineup sucks right now. The Dodgers lineup is fucking terrible. And still, even with the bullpen having to get 9 outs, they miraculously pulled this one off.
Oh, the Dodgers lineup's so bad that I'm terrified of the offseason, knowing that they're going to go ballistic
Kyle Tucker.
fixing. Yeah, Kyle Tucker's going to be a Dodger. You're 100% right. Like, they're going to go ballistic because the way that this lineup was so disjointed this series.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's like unenjoyable baseball from a offensive side where you're like, oh my God, another Miguel Rojas AB. Like, goodness gracious.
Say this though right now. All the shit you've talked about Miguel Rojas and your little career here on talking behind that microphone. He made so many amazing defensive plays in this game.
That's all he's ever done. That's his entire thing. When I was ranking him back in those days.
Way back.
It's also because, I mean, he has a 5.11 OPS.
For sure.
That's what he's always been, is a good glove who can't hit for shit.
But from the Dodgers' perspective, when Andy Pages right now is having the worst postseason in history, I don't know if you saw that, but he has the worst postseason OPS in the history of baseball, I think, with a minimum of 40 plate appearances.
215.
It's hard. I think Jason Hayward's the second lowest at 307. But when you're not getting any offense from that spot anyway, like, try something different. Just do something else. And Miguel Rojas at second base made multiple nice plays, a few in the hole, turned some double plays. And on that last play of the game, after, we'll unpack the whole ground rule double thing here in a second, but for Kike Hernandez to jump in. Also, Kike Hernandez made a great catch there. He got sensational jump. I have the numbers here from baseball.
Also, respect finally playing Andres Jimenez to opposite field as if he's a little league hitter. He was standing about 100 feet away from the shortstop. Like, shout out to the Dodgers setting him up, or if Kike made that call himself, because while Jimenez had a nice series and Jimenez is a fine player, we're probably a little harsh on him at times. He can't hit the ball for power at opposite field. There's no reason to play him like a normal player out there.
He can't hit the ball for the power to the pull side either. Andres Jimenez is so good with wrist in this series because he just manages to squeak him through the hole, and that's fine. But that catch, Kike Hernandez, that play seemed routine. That was a 40% catch probability, and he had a 7-foot better jump than average according to baseball.
Oh, he was locked in.
And then even with that, makes a dog shit throw to second base where Miguel Rojas makes such an awkward pick, like in the other side of his body with Addison Barger sliding into him. That was a great play, and it was. I'm not gonna say it was a great moment because I don't want the Dodgers to win in any way, shape, or form. But in terms of just pure baseball, for that game to swing on a 180 dime like that was just the theater of it was sensational.
Yeah, let's talk about that ninth inning. Incredible play. Might have saved the Dodgers season right there by both Kike and Miguel Rojas because again that pick was unbelievable. But let's talk about that ninth inning because while you could talk about Yamamoto and Sasaki and all these guys, Glasnow comes in after the craziest play that I've ever seen because Addison Barger hits an absolute piss missile off of Roki, smokes it off of him. Almost had my Roki moment where the clocks, broke clocks right twice a day. And it gets stuck underneath the fence. But it's such a weird play because, stuck is good in quotation marks because I don't really know how stuck that ball was. Shout out to Justin Dean for knowing and Kike for knowing what the ground rules were because this is something that clearly was talked about before the game, before the series. If the ball gets wedged, put your hands up. And it was so close that I even worried, because Barger came around to score on this. Yes. I was like, you might want to pick that up still. Like, you might be taking a crazy risk here, Justin Dean, and saying, no, we're not going to touch the baseball. But the ground rules kind of fucked the Blue Jays here. A home field advantage that came back to absolutely destroy this game for them.
And it is so ass. If I was a Blue Jays fan,
Terrible.
I don't think I would have slept a wink last night.
No.
But also, it's the rule as it's written. And while it does suck, it's a weird little shitty tip the cap moment to those Dodgers outfielders who are aware of it. And it did seem like Kike was screaming it to Dean. And I'm not sure, maybe Dean knew it too, but the second it happened, Kike was shouting and he put his hands up first. Put them up. I remember a play also in the Mets years ago where Yoenis Cespedes tried to do that. And the umpire was like, no, that's not stuck. Scoop it out of there. Go home run. Nice try, guy. But that little tiny thing changed everything here. I can't say I've ever seen a play like that in my life at this big of a moment.
No, not at all. Like they had the Dodgers on the ropes. Roki for some reason started the inning, which made absolutely no sense when you had Glasnow ready to go. You got to win this game. There's no tomorrow. I couldn't believe they let Roki start the inning.
And especially because if you knew Glasnow was ready, like you said, and the way that Roki struggled for 25 pitches, 24 pitches through that eighth inning, he was not getting many swings and misses. He was not finding his zone very much. Vlad walked, and he basically was screaming to the whole team, this guy fucking sucks. We got this guy. And then Glasnow, I'm not even going to say pitched particularly well, but getting the Ernie Clement would pop out.
He threw 3 pitches.
Yeah, which he kind of just was the guy on the mound. The story wasn't really about him, but I did like the fact that still, as the Blue Jays went down, they still went down the way they play, which let's swing at the first pitch. People were shitting on Ernie Clement for swinging at the first pitch. I fully disagree with that.
I think the idea of swinging at the first pitch is good. I think it's got to be a better pitch. Up and in is not the pitch to go after for Ernie Clement. And
I mean, David Schneider hit for a home run off Blake Snell.
Sure, but he wasn't ready for it, Clement. He was late. He got beat. If that's the pitch that you're going to swing at, you got to be ready for it.
But that was the difference that we talked about a few games ago with Glasnow. We're like, why is he going to the sinker two-seamer away from the four-seamer? That pitch was the two-seamer. That little bit of run, that took it off the barrel just enough, and that's why Clement popped up. Again, there's so many games within a game happening in this series where it's crazy. I also want to talk about the fact that, just to talk, not this plate appearance, but it was a few innings before when Andres Jimenez came up, and I want to get the exact situation. It was after the early Clement double in the 7th. Jimenez comes up against Robleski with Clement on second. And this was the second time in this game that Jimenez came up with a guy in scoring position. The first one, I don't think you pinch it because Jimenez has been so good. It was against Yamamoto, who was a righty. But against the lefty, you want to hear Andres Jimenez's stats against lefties this season?
I'm going to guess they're putrid.
Oh, I have the righty stats pulled up. But even against righties, Andres Jimenez has a 630 OPS. So
he's not a good hitter.
And it's just, you got David Schneider on the bench who's been hot. Ty France is so good for a base hit in a situation like that against the lefty. It was bizarre to me to see Jimenez. I know he's been great this series. I know the results have been good. But you I'm sure this Monday morning quarterback, this hindsight being 2020, but you don't really want to go down with the guy who
Can't
you
hit.
know, in that situation, I know the last 2 weeks have been good. In that situation, you know he has a less of a chance than the guy who's sitting there, who's not going to get an at bat in this game.
Now, I will say the last 2 weeks have been good, but you look at his postseason numbers, hitting 213 with a 607 OPS.
Because all of the hits are with runners in scoring position.
Exactly. He has gotten the hits when he's needed them, but that's kind of this idea where it's like you can't just look at singular plays in a vacuum. You have to look at this player as a whole, and still at the end of the day, he is not the best option to be up there in that moment to hit. Like, if you wanted him to hit against Glasnow, that's fine. I don't think that's why they lost the game. But like you mentioned, that Robleski at bat, that was an interesting call for sure.
Yeah, and I think actually what I have here are the left-handed stats. I got confused here, but it's just he's not good. He's not a good hitter at all, especially against a pitcher from the same side of the plate. Like all season you went through, he didn't get those plate appearances, and now it's process versus results. He squeaked through a couple of hits that were really important for you, but then he did fight off for a good at bat like he likes to do, but it just wasn't enough. And getting one run there could have been this entire game, especially the way you've been hitting, the way you know that. You're 6 outs against this Dodgers bullpen. You're going to find a way to get close to one, and they kind of got unlucky not to get two.
And truthfully, if you're worried about the defense too, you have IKF still on the bench. I know I hate him as a player, but that's right-handed Andres Jimenez. So,
and it's enough where even that Jimenez is coming up again. David Schneider gets that plate appearance against the lefty, and then IKF plays defense, and you still have Ty France and possibly hit just to get a Ty France single in the last inning against Glasnow, Roki, whoever it may be. So that was a moment. I know that there was a lot of argument between the Blue Jays fan base about what should have been done there. And I know that our guy Nene Takes, a great draft prospect analyst, he was the one who was banging the drum for Trey Savage last year for the Blue Jays to take before the draft. He said that's the worst move of John Schneider's career, one of the worst moves I've seen in the history of Blue Jays baseball.
Whoa.
He had a 598 OPS this year, 617 in the playoffs. This is one of the worst hitters on the team. You cannot let him hit there. But then the total flip side of this, Johnny Junta, the Gate 14 podcast, kind of become the tribal chief of the Blue Jays fans. He says people wanting to pinch hit Andres Jimenez when he has shown he can be clutch all fucking postseason is truly the most armchair magic I've ever seen. Jimenez earned that chance with a runner in scoring position. And that is the two sides of every baseball argument. It's like you have to trust either what you've seen most recently and how a guy's rolling, or all the numbers that tell you the opposite thing.
It's the annoying part about that comment is not that going with your guys, right? It's the whole like Andres Jimenez, still as horrible as he is, he's going to get a hit every 4 times when he comes to the plate. That's basically every player in Major League Baseball. It just so happened that one of those 4 times that he comes to the plate, there's guys on and he got that hit. That's where it's like you got to trust what you actually know. It's the whole conversation that we've had, even in arguing in the comment section here on the Windup sometimes, where it's like, okay, so we're going to take the 25 plate appearance sample where he's a good hitter, completely ignore the 700 plate appearances he had this year. Like, we have to, I think, at times, this is where being a fan sucks because it's
both. Also,
it's both.
You always look back and you're like, this was wrong because it didn't work. If Andres Jimenez gets a hit there, you're like, wow, John Schneider, genius, trusting his gut for his most clutch hitter on the team.
I don't know if I ever would have said he's a genius for keeping him in. I think that would have been more of like a tip of the cap to Andres Jimenez, like, dog, he stepped up every single time we've needed him. And maybe that's the thought process, is he has stepped up. I just don't know if I would have felt comfortable as a Jays fan knowing that Andres Jimenez got at-bats over guys that are way better.
But again, you might feel very differently if you watch this guy just hit 400 runs in scoring position for the last week and a half.
I don't know.
I'm not saying you, but I'm saying a Jays fan definitely
fair.
would. And that's why I wanted to read both of those takes from two people who are both, I say, prominent in the Jays community, but on very opposite ends. And also, I found another quote from Kike. I had in my notes, but I scrolled past them. He apparently said he heard the bat break on that Jimenez ball in play.
Whoa.
And that's why he charged so hard. He even said, I just knew where the ball was going to be. I lost it in the lights. And I just put my glove up and knew where it had to go.
Holy shit.
But he's
such a playoff dog. I know he struck out 3 times and had a horrible game at the plate, but this guy finds a way to help the Dodgers try and win every single night.
Every single time. And it's just he, as the rest of the team, again, sucks. Terrible. The Dodgers, guess the Dodgers batting average this World Series?
I mean, it's going to be low. It's going to be 211.
191.
Oh, God. So that's why it's close.
Follow up on that one. You know the last time a team batted under 200 and won the World Series in that series?
Man, it's going to be like 1904.
It's closer than that.
When was it?
1962 Yankees.
Jeez.
Before that, the 1948 Indians, the 1930 Athletics, the 1918 Red Sox, which is very funny, and the 1906 White Sox.
A lot of all-time teams right there.
Literally, but it's unbelievable how, again, bad this team is playing, and they're still able to push this thing to 7. And I can't believe we haven't talked about Yamamoto yet.
Yes.
Didn't even think he had anywhere close to his best stuff.
No,
Nothing
he
like
looked
game
tired.
2. And he was still great. Did you think he should have been pulled when he got pulled, though, after 6?
Yes, I thought he was done. Me and you were texting. I thought he was gassed. The stuff in that 6th inning, while again the Blue Jays didn't get any runs in, they had guys on base. It felt like he was up against the ropes, and it just seemed like that was the pivotal moment where the Blue Jays had to jump on him right there because that was the last chance they were going to get with him.
Yeah, and he did throw a 96-mile-an-hour fastball to Bo Bichette in that plate appearance with a walk that missed high, and he missed to the arm side, so you kind of feel him getting tired. The next fastball he threw after that was 93 miles an hour. It's the slowest one he threw in that game. It seemed very clear. I was texting one of our friends, Tyler, who has Yamamoto MVP future for the World Series, a plus 10,000, and he was like, "Leave him in." I was like, I don't think you want to leave this guy in right now. But at the same time,
he still might win the MVP if the Dodgers win it.
I think he will win the MVP if the Dodgers win. Unless
it's
Ohtani
not like
hits 2 home
anybody's
runs.
hitting, so yeah.
No, I think they might still give it to Ohtani just because his name's Ohtani. But
and also he is pitching Game 7 if they win.
That's
Shohei
true. Yeah,
probably pitches well, and
good chance.
1100 OPS for the postseason.
Still, those 9 outs that the Dodgers bullpen had to get were a fucking adventure, and it was
insane.
Shocking the Blue Jays didn't get any runs across.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I really if you were a betting man, I would have been like, live bet the Blue Jays. The bullpen's in, down 2 runs. They've had runners on against Yamamoto. Like, this team's going to score. Absolutely heartbreaking for them to lose in the way that they did. To go from such bliss, from that Aston Barger possible inside the park home run, to then 3 pitches, the game's over. That's it. Come back tomorrow.
And it definitely hurts, just cuts a lot deeper because, and we talk about this a lot, and all the credit they've gotten is how good of a team they've been with runners in scoring position. But we know that that's a skill that sometimes it's about luck, sometimes it's about bad luck. And this game, it did feel like a lot of bad luck hurts the Blue Jays. And
Blake Snell did the classic thing. He said they've been getting lucky, and as soon as the baseball gods heard that, bang, they said, "You want to see how lucky they are? Fuck you."
Which is usually the opposite of how the baseball guys act. So I did look back some of that Blake Snell quotes and the stuff. I did think he was kind of whiny, but a lot of the unlucky he was talking about was the fact he did make those pitches, he thought, against Vlad and Schneider. But then he said he didn't make the pitch against Vlad. It was a bad pitch. But one against David Schneider, I watched it back. It was a good pitch. It was a fastball in his hands. He just was ready and jumped on. Yep. It's just, this is crazy. Louis Varland again. I can't believe this guy came back in the game. It's just Mason Fluharty. Louis Varland, this is the first time a pitcher's appeared in 14 postseason games since 2017, Brandon Morrow. Like, he just, I mean, you know what? Probably pitching in game 7 too. Because at this point, why not?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, the season's over for everybody, no matter what. Tonight is the last baseball game of the 2025 season. Everybody's available. I don't give a shit what they say. Every single person's available. Yamamoto might come out if they need him.
I'm so excited for these games, and I've been taking a little bit of a hiatus, kind of like a boycott of Joe Davis and John Smoltz. They pissed me off early in this series.
Yeah, they suck.
So I called the Sportsnet stream the other night. I told you guys that. I've watched the last 2 games on the Fox Deportes stream.
Ooh.
The joy in these guys announcing these games. I understand a third of the words, the phrases that come through. My high school and college Spanish shining out here. But these guys are fun. I don't know what they're saying, but we're having a great time listening.
Who are the announcers? You got names on them?
I got none.
All right.
Having fun.
Just having fun. If it's Ernesto Jerez, you're in for a treat. But I think he's an ESPN guy, so I'm not quite sure. Should we talk about Game 7 a little bit now?
Yeah.
Max Scherzer on the mound for Game 7 leaves a pit in my stomach, and I'm not a fucking Blue Jays fan.
Adrian Garcia Marquez and Jesse Losada.
There we go. Great job to those guys.
Doing a great job there. But I agree with you on that. I do think that it's going to be the tightest leash ever. Like, we know that's going to be Scherzer, Bieber, and then this bullpen's good to go. Like, you're going to see Fluharty against the big Shohei at bat. You're going to see Seranthony Dominguez. I'm sure you see Chris Bassett again, should Chris Bassett just become a reliever?
He's really good.
Should he just be the best seventh man in the league next year? Because he came in also just dripping in swag.
Oh, yeah.
Pumping those 2-seamers. I was like,
Did you see before the game? Did you see before the game? Halloween. No, he came in a ghillie suit with a flamethrower before the game, which is insane.
This team's having fun. One of the Blue Jays beat writers, maybe one of the Mets writers who was there, I don't remember who it was, but someone asked Chris Bassett, what's different about like your preparation, how you're approaching these games, knowing you're in relief now rather than starting pitcher? And he was like, you can't have a rally beer anymore. Which is, what a guy. I love Chris Bassett out of Ohio. But this is an all hands on deck game. The Blue Jays have such a significant bullpen advantage, but it does come down to what the tandem of Shohei and Glasnow will be able to do on the mound. Because again, hearing those 2 names versus Scherzer, Bieber, you would take Shohei and Glasnow easily.
Yes.
But if this does become a bullpen affair, if one of those guys can't get through a third inning from the Dodgers side, suddenly the Blue Jays do again have a pitching advantage, and they have a lineup advantage.
They definitely have the lineup advantage. You might need those guys to go 4 each. You can't really afford to
4.5 each.
Yeah, like you kind of, if you're a Dodgers fan, you're hoping that Tyler Glasnow and Shohei Ohtani are the 2 pitchers that come into this game. That means you're winning the World Series. If you're the Blue Jays fans, you got to get to this bullpen immediately. And they jumped on Glasnow when they saw him last. They jumped on Ohtani. So now it's on those guys to make the adjustments. Can they make the adjustments? Tyler Glasnow better not throw a fucking sinker if they want to win this game. Who gives a shit that the Blue Jays hit fastballs? Throw a fastball.
It worked last night. The sinker worked. The sinker got Ernie Clemente up. That was a 4-seamer instead of 2-seamer. That might not have worked.
Was it actually that pitch?
Yeah, it definitely was.
Let's see.
Had a little run on it. Got it in his hands.
Yeah, sinker up and in. But I mean, that is the difference, though. Up and in. Don't throw the sinker down.
Oh, no, it was the right spot for it. But also, if you're a Dodgers fan, I don't think I don't want to see Roki Sasaki. I don't think you want to see Roki Sasaki. It's kind of all happening now where you suddenly see again like you're not getting swings and misses.
No, because just you can honestly not swing. He doesn't really fill the strike zone with the fastball and the slider. And the splitter, while that pitch is still devastating, disgusting, one of the nastiest splitters we've seen, just like almost never a strike. It's kind of like the Kodai Senga Ghost Fork. Like, just don't swing at it.
It's kind of been a good adjustment by him, the fact that he has thrown that in the zone more.
Yes.
He's tried to land a few. There was one against Vlad. That was one of the coolest takes I've ever seen in my life.
But it was also a strike.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't really calling the low strike this whole game. It was a decent zone last night, I'll say that. But it's just, if he can't get a swing and miss, he's never going to get one on that fastball. No. Even though he was pumping 98s and 99s, like, it's just
hittable.
You just can't let him in the game. The fact that it was Robleski with the season on the line, too. It's like, where
nails.
Everyone's talking about Dodgers ruining baseball, super team, and Justin Robleski's here to save the season. It's like, this is crazy.
But that's the idiot meter, thinking the Dodgers are ruining baseball. It's like, oh, yeah, look at this team. They played fucking Justin Dean last night in the outfield. Like, Andy Paez is not that good. Miguel Rojas gets big playing time. Most teams don't want those guys.
And again, especially when the top 4 aren't doing like top 4 shit. Like, Ohtani's still doing great, and the intentional walk, people are going to bitch about that. Same, like, it's just Smith, Freeman, Betts. You kind of need, just like last night, 3 RBIs out of those 4 guys. Yep. That's how the Dodgers win. And the Blue Jays win if you don't let that happen, or if you get 6 or fewer innings combined from Ohtani and Glasnow.
Yeah, that's going to be a great game. I'm excited. I can't wait to watch Game 7. Prediction, who wins, James?
Blue Jays.
Give me Jays, too. I'm rooting for the Jays. I want the Jays to win. We got money on the Jays. Up to 6. Let's go.
Up to 6. I mean, yeah, send the World Series trophy above the border.
That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure you are subscribed to the Windup for more baseball content. We will catch you after Game 7. That's pretty much it. Let's go baseball. Let's go Jays. Let us know who you think is going to win in the comments. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.